I got to go with Dr. Martin Knox on, what day was that, Wednesday? And we had lunch with the Raytown South Band while they were in band camp, and we're gonna do the same with Raytown High Band Camp this Wednesday. And so it was just a good time to see all the kids and be with them, and meet parents, and they gave her plenty of Oreos, and I think all were happy. So a good time.
Anyone else?
I attended the new teacher breakfast last week. Last week. Already gone by fast, but can't believe it. New Year's here already, but new teacher breakfast is one of the highlights of the year. It's great to see all our great new teachers that are coming in. We had another good group this year. I just mention that on August 20th, 8:30 in the morning, there's going to be a prayer walk for Raytown schools being organized by Brad Brace, our principal at the Success Academy. So if anybody wants to, I'll send out some information. Anybody wants to attend that, you're more than welcome. And then in conjunction with that, Dr. Martin Knox will be introduced at Connection Point Church that next Sunday. So we're glad to have her participate. So anybody else wants to invite her to their church to be introduced, that'd be a great thing.
Anyone else? Donna?
Thank you. I also attended the new teacher breakfast and have the same sentiment. It's exciting that there's so much excitement surrounding the upcoming school year. President Alonso and I had an opportunity to visit the enrollment center, and they are doing some very innovative things to make sure that our parents are reached and that students are enrolled. So it was very exciting to see some of the steps taken to ensure we're reaching our parents and students.
I share the same sentiment.
I've just had the pleasure to just continue to talk to teachers, students, and some of our families. As the school year starts, sometimes there are a lot of different concerns. And so I've been able to listen to those concerns, which is feedback that I will be sharing forward.
All right. Thank y'all for that. Next, we have the elementary school parent handbooks for the new year.
Good evening, President Burton, Board of Education, Dr. Martin Knox. Tonight for the board's review and information, we have our 22-23 handbooks for elementary. And this is a collaborative effort between all of our schools to incorporate communication for families and students for this year. These handbooks are compliant with our MSBA policy recommendations. So I would entertain any questions the board might have regarding our handbooks.
I don't have I do kind of have a question, but first I wanted to say thank you so much for making these available in Spanish. I think that is a very good opportunity to make sure that we're reaching parents. Also, we have an elementary parent handbook. Now, do each one of the schools also have an individual school handbook?
So the handbook provided is for all of our schools. It's a combined all elementary.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have our bond update.
Actually, I'd like to invite the architect from Hollis and Miller update on the Sandy.
Can you hear me now? Is that better? Okay. Excited for the new school year to start. The construction projects are kind to an end in preparation for teachers, staff, and students to come in a couple weeks. Raytown High School is looking very good as far as updates to the corridors, the media center, and the new fax classrooms. Appliances have been installed, cabinetry is installed, and the contractor is nearly out of there. They're out completely by Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Central Middle School, the new addition for the cafeteria is steel is nearly complete on the decking roof. Interior spaces are nearly finished, and they should also be out by the end of this week and cleared up for staff to inhabit all of those areas. Band and choir spaces have been updated, as well as the media center. And then the elementary schools are also underway, cleaned up. The contractor's out of almost all of those spaces and should be completely done by the end. Any questions? Most of those updates are in your bond update.
When will Central be able to use the expanded cafeteria? When do we see that?
Sure. So we're working on that timeline with the contractor. They initially were hoping done completely by the end of this year. There's a little bit of a hiccup that's happened with the piping that goes through for the existing ground source units. The entire school has to be shut down in order to reconnect those to the new units. And that also goes hand in hand with dropping that wall. We need an extended amount of time to be able to do that. And there's a possibility we can do it over Christmas break or Thanksgiving break, but we're through that. The worst case scenario will be next year. Any other questions?
Excuse me. Can I get you to move this podium a little bit, please? A little bit further out that way. I don't know his name, but I didn't see you. Okay, thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just want it moved. It's a little bit too close to me. Thank you.
No.
Out that way, please. Out in the, yeah. Can it go further? How far?
A little bit.
Okay, good. That's better. Give me a little footage there.
Okay, next we have Did You Know?
Good evening. We have a few items for Did You Know and recognitions this evening. First, the district is excited about growing the opportunity for high school students through the Real World Learning Program. Through partnerships with local organizations and businesses, RQS students are getting hands-on experiences that will help them post-high school. They get a chance to listen to and ask questions of a variety of entrepreneurs and business leaders, as well as take field trips to local companies like Honeywell and Cerner. And we can't wait to see what year 3 holds for the Real World Learning Program. As you know, we're ready for the start of the school year. Enrollment is now open for families, and we want to encourage parents and guardians to enroll as soon as possible. And you can enroll through the district website at raytownschools.org. And as we start school, if students are in need of vaccinations, the Jackson County Health Department is hosting a back-to-school immunization clinic every weekday through September 9th at their office in Independence. We also want to congratulate our parents as teachers for being awarded the Jelly Family Foundation Endowment for Children's Education Grant through the Truman Heartland Community Foundation. In RQS, it's a priority to spark a lifetime love of learning in children, so congratulations to parents as teachers. And finally, I would like to introduce Martha Cockerell, Raytown Educational Foundation's Executive Director, who is here tonight to recognize Gwen Mundorf's law firm for its support of the foundation and our students and staff.
Good evening, board. First of all, before I introduce Shelley, no introduction needed, but I have trustees and our president with us. So Kim Snyder, trustee, Mary Euler, trustee, and our president, Renee Pertee, is with us tonight to honor Shelley. And that means limelight, you get to come over here. Well, this will be extra fun. It's our honor to recognize Gwen Mundorf and Associates for their support of the foundation They have been a pillars of the foundation sponsor since the program began in 2015. So for 7 years have been very faithful in their support. Even the year where we had to do our breakfast virtually, if you'll remember when I emailed Shelley and said, would you think about this? And she said, love to do it. And we got banana pancakes and Jessica Bernard, who had to figure out how to fold things into a bowl. But they have been very supportive of us. And so in keeping with that sweet banana pancake thing, and because they have been so sweet to us, Renee has a tray of a Raytown educational cookies with our logo on it that you can share with the office. So thank you very much.
Shelley, those almost got eaten at dinner tonight. I'm just those almost got eaten at dinner tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna need you to stay after. Next, we have the Jelly fam. Oh, got it. You did that. She's good. Okay. All right, now we have our public comment period. At each regular meeting, period of time. Is this this? Am I reading the right one? Yeah. Sorry. Policy BDBH provides that the district residents and employees may sign up at a board meeting to speak on matters placed on the agenda for consideration. If any district resident or employee wishes to speak to a matter that has not been placed on the agenda, then they must request that the matter be added to the board's agenda at least 5 days in advance of the meeting. In order to maintain implementation of our policy, we will not hear public comment this evening on matters that have not been placed on the agenda, but we encourage you to follow procedures set forth in the policy BDDH in order to properly raise your comments with the Board of Education. So tonight we don't have any public comments in regards to what's on the agenda.
So we can't say anything about the schools and the busing systems. We can't say anything about that as long as
in order, second, I would encourage you to call the administration, Mr. Terry Gibson, and he will address any concerns you may have. And if you're not satisfied with that, you can sign up we'll put it on the.
after the practice starts next week, and we're not gonna have bus system for our kids. So that's gonna be after.
I assure you that if you give him a call, that he will address your concerns.
Okay, I just need to get his phone
Okay.
or email or something.
Yes.
I'll speak. We'll speak.
Okay, and we speak now, because I mean, anything else, I'm
We-
just here for that.
We're just after.
Okay.
That would be just fine. I absolutely.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have the report of the Raytown Education Foundation. Terry?
Yeah, Alonzo. This is a report from the Board of Trustees meeting on July the 27th, 2022. End of the year report. In support and enhancing our schools, the foundation is proud to have contributed a total of $97,427 in programs and services to Raytown Quality School students, staff during the 21-22 school year. Scholarships was $71,038. class of 2021 seniors and renewables for tuition year 22-23 total $61,511. High school dual credit totaled $8,411. Youth sports totaled $1,116. Excuse me. Student recognition was $5,666. Grants was $20,723. And that was teacher and learning grants to a total of $13,981. Major Saber building was $5,662. And cash for classrooms was $1,080. As part of the awarding of scholarships, students are requested to write an essay. And attached to this report in your minutes, there was probably 2 pages of quotes taken from the students' essays. And the thing that they were supposed to write on was based on the following. Why are you proud of your Raytown quality school education? What will you remember about your academics, extracurricular activities, adult and student friendships, ability to make and pursue goals? How has your high school experience contributed to your development as a self-confident, goal-oriented adult? I would encourage you, if you haven't, to open those quotes and read them from the minute. There was a lot of students, and I won't take the time to read all of them, but that was part of the awarding of all these scholarships. And then mark your calendar for the 2022 Run for Excellence on Saturday, October the 8th. It's a 5K run starting at the Chitwood Building. It goes up through Blue Ridge Boulevard, and it must have a Halloween theme because it says Boo in 2022 and a pumpkin on the application to enter it. So mark your calendar for that. And Mr. President, that's the report I have.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Landers. Who is that? I was thinking about chicken. Anyway. All right, next we have the Finance Committee.
President, I move to accept the April 11th, 2022 Finance Committee meeting minutes presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
So we have the minutes for approval tonight from the April meeting. The 6:15 meeting minutes are there. They're not up for approval tonight because we just met this evening. And just a brief update from our Finance Committee meeting, some brief general ideas or items. Overall revenues ended the year about $1 million ahead of where we thought they would be. And those are due to some ESSER funds that we applied for and got that came in before the end of the year. Our expenditures were up for last year, but our finances overall are in good shape, but we continue to keep an eye on them. And we're very pleased with the job that Jackie and Terry Gibson, being new, are already taking a look at all those things. Got some good ideas headed down, keeping us on the right path financially. Mr. Gibson, anything else to add to Finance Committee? Thank you.
Okay. Also, I just I had emailed each board member individually in regards to adding a couple of standing committees. One being a capital improvements committee in regards to some of the projects that we see as a need. And so we can focus our attention in those areas and have discussions and be more transparent, making sure that the public knows what we're trying to do in regards to capital improvements. And a lot of things that were coming out of Finance Committee has a specific purpose of making sure that we're fiscally sound. However, some of the decisions we need to make and some of the things we want to implement, we probably need some other committees to do those things and to focus our attention. Another one is a Climate and Culture Committee that would look into the retention and recruitment or the attraction of families in our community or staff, students. We do face a decline in enrollment, and that being a big issue, I think we need to focus our attention in that area. Our other committees will primarily remain the same, with the addition of 2 committees, probably going to change the chairman around. I know Ms. Johnson-Berry did email me in regards to the curriculum committee. I would ask that the rest of the board let me know which committees that you feel passionate about and want to chair, and also the ones you just want to be members of. We can have up to 3 members on the board, on the committee, along with the administration. And so we'll be drafting a lot of that up, but I want to try to get these started by September, by our next board meeting. That's all I had to report in regards to committee. Anybody else? Comment? All right. Let's take the vote on this finance committee minutes. Started. Ms. Bobby and Ms. Donna. Ms. Bobby. All right, motion passes. Next, we have curriculum and instruction goals.
Good evening again, board. So from our conversation last month about the curriculum and instruction goals for 22-23, we just wanted to provide a quick update tonight on some very productive conversations we've been having as a CNI team over the course of the last several weeks. I mentioned in the agenda item that and shared with you a template that our team is using to fully develop our CNI goals for this year. Many of those goals have been in place for the last few years, but there are some new faces to the team, and we wanted to make sure that as a CNI team, we had clarity around where we were headed with those goals this year, and also that we would be able to share and communicate those goals with our stakeholders. So while we have started those conversations, we have a few things still yet to decide on in the next couple of weeks. But one thing that we did discuss was really seeing those CNI goals falling within 2 themes. Number one is the achievement of our students as it relates to how our collaborative teams, our teacher teams, are successfully meeting the academic needs of our students. And so, as you all know, we have weekly collaboration that happens on Wednesdays, and we really want to focus that discussion around meeting the academic needs of our children. And so one of the things that we will be doing this year through instructional strategies that involve math reasoning, nonfiction reading, argumentative writing, and high-level questioning and engagement strategies, our collaborative teams are really the way in which we will measure the progress of the. So know that all of that work really comes through the collaboration of our teacher teams. And so more information to come in September, but just wanted to share some of that conversation. And then also really seeing the need to support students' social emotional health. So the theme of academic performance and social emotional health would be the 2 areas that we are tracking this year. And certainly the good work of cultural competency as well as trauma smart is the work that will drive that social emotional health. So we are going to be spending time in some additional discussion over the next few weeks that will include discussion at our district committee meeting on September 12th. But we hope to bring to the board at our September 12th meeting a draft of those goals for your consideration.
I have a question. Does any of that collaboration involve PLCs that are interdisciplinary?
Ms. Johnson-Berry, yes, it can and could include that. One of the conversations that I'm engaging with principals right now is how they are organizing their teachers into teams. Our priority is that we want our teachers collaborating routinely with their job-alike colleagues. So for example, today I had a conversation with the middle school principal She had one teacher in a particular department, and we talked through the ideas of getting that Singleton teacher in her building to begin collaborating virtually with the Singleton teachers in similar departments at the other middle schools. So we want to work through the process of making sure that our teachers are collaborating with their job alikes, whether that's in person or virtually. And those are details that we are working through right now.
And I have one other question. Are we exploring, or are we going to have models for teachers to be able to have time set aside to do walkthroughs through other classrooms? Because I found that is an excellent way to learn. The conversations are great, but just, seeing it is another way. So are we doing that or considering that?
Yes, absolutely. I think one of the ways in which we can maximize our 1% funds for professional development is to provide the opportunity for teachers during the day to go in and visit. Also, I know that in prior districts that I've worked in, we've also utilized video so that teachers could do recordings and then use that as a way of reflection during their team meetings. So I think we will provide options to our staff, whatever they are most comfortable pursuing, but certainly them seeing each other and reflecting on their practices and getting feedback from their job alike colleagues is really important. So definitely will be part of the action plans that our teams will be developing this year.
I just wanted to thank you for extending an invitation to participate in the Trauma Smart training. I don't know where that stemmed from, but I'm excited to be a part of that. And just want to know, are we, I hope I get this right, are we extending invitation to more and more classified staff, right? Certified as teacher, right? And classified. Yeah, more and more of the classified staff.
So we do have some certified staff represented in the Trauma Smart training. Of course, there are limited spaces for the training, and our priority was to provide that opportunity to our certified staff. But we do have classified staff participating this year. And certainly as we continue to roll out training in future years, we'll look for those opportunities to include more of our classified staff.
Mr. President, I move the board approve the written.
Now we have the district assessment plan.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the 22-23 district assessment plan as presented.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote. Next, we have adoption of new policy, seclusion and restraint policy revisions.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve policy JGGA, seclusion and restraint.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. And an approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the August 8, 2022 consent agenda as presented.
Second. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. I just want to read the donations that have been made. There's a donation of hygiene products from the homeless department from Healthy Blue, Missouri. The donation of $100 toward the Raytown High Choir trip to Nashville from Shirley Early. We really appreciate the donations that have been made. Thank you very much.
Alonzo, could I say something else?
Yep.
I know we've had a lot of teachers post their wish lists, and so I just want to thank the community that have supported our staff through individual wish lists too. So that's very much appreciated for those items.
All right. Okay. Next motion.
Mr. President, I move that the board join the regular Board of Education meeting at 7:10 p.m.
I don't think I can second that because it'll be too early.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? We're out.